What was the most challenging, the most fun part of acting with the kids? Were they easy to work with or not?
They were very easy to work with. They were extraordinary. I think they were very excited to be filming. They just loved it, and they loved being there, and that was infectious. So it was very easy. It was a total pleasure to be with them. Yeah, they were great.
Did acting as someone so passionate for these kids change the way you felt about their situation?
I already felt very strongly about their situation. In a way, that's the reason we were making the film, to support Christina and what she does for them. But obviously when you go and experience it firsthand, you feel it deeper than what you've read in a book or what you've heard her tell you. So yeah, you do feel for their situation. And I guess more than anything, I was very grateful that they had a person like Christina Noble there. I mean, all of the kids who worked on the film for us would not be having an education, but they were all part of the Christina Noble Foundation, and they all go to school. And I was very aware that they wouldn't be going, and they wouldn't be getting an education if she hadn't been there. So experiencing that was special.
I really liked the scene where Christina brought the two little girls into the hotel, and the one where she takes Lan into the room. Into his mom. Did those scenes actually happen, or did you use a little bit of a poetic license for some scenes?
Yes, I mean, when you're writing a story like this, you have to be able to use some poetic license, as you put it so well. And it's a bit like what Deirdre was talking about, the essence of the character. And for me as well, when I was writing it, it's about getting the essence of the character and the story. So you've got to allow yourself to go off and create little scenes that you need for the film. And what happened with us actually was there are 2 books, and then there's 2 years of conversations that I had with Christina. So sometimes I can't remember whether something really happened or whether I made it up or whether it's from one of the books. Or so in the case of those 2 scenes that you liked, she did take the 2 little girls into the hotel, and very much in that way by hiding them under her rain cape. So that was a real true life thing. And then the lamb story, I think, was a kind of conglomeration of a number of stories. She had lots of relationships with children that she would find out where some of their relations lived and what their situations were. So Lamb was a little bit more made up, his whole character, to represent a whole load of kids and their stories with Christina.
How has this story affected you? Has it influenced you to make a difference?
Wow, that's a big question. I think for all of us, it's affected us dramatically in the sense that we've spent 5 years of our life making the story, and now we hope to spend another few years showing the film to people. So it's definitely had a huge impact on us. And changed us completely. You can't come across Christina Noble and not be changed, because it's so humbling to see the amount that she has achieved in Vietnam and Mongolia and other places in the world. And she's achieved it as a person who had very little to begin with and had real hardships to overcome. And so you cannot but be changed when you come into contact with Christina. Anybody else? Anything to add?
Yeah, just to say that I've since become an ambassador for the charity in Ireland, so I imagine that I will continue to support that charity, hopefully for the rest of my days, and I want to go back to Vietnam, and I want to go to Mongolia with Christina. So yeah, I intend to be associated with her and the foundation for as long as I can be.
How have Christina Noble's programs kind of benefited from the film? Have they really kind of gotten better throughout the film? Or I knew they were really great to begin with, but
I think it's early days at the moment, you know, and this is just the beginning of our journey to show the film. Obviously, while we were making it, we ran social media as we were going. So we had a Facebook page, we had Twitter, and we have a website. So people that were interested in the making of the film have always been able to link into the Christina Noble Foundation. So yeah, there has been a lot of children sponsored as a result of the making of, but really I guess the biggest effect will be once the film is out and has wide distribution, then hopefully that's when there will be an impact and people will go and search and find her website and maybe be inspired to go and sponsor a child, as Dee said earlier.
What was the reaction of the kids at the orphanages when they saw this film?
They haven't seen the film yet because, as Melanie said, this is Santa Barbara is our world premiere, so it's fantastic to be here. And we haven't managed to show the kids the film yet. We're hoping to go to Vietnam at the end of this year to the Hanoi Film Festival, and we'll go and show it to the children at the same time.
You're the first kids.
But they were an amazing group of kids to work with, so I think they're very excited to see it when they get to see it.
Christina had a special connection to Vietnam, which led her there. Did any of you have a Vietnam connection before this film?
It wasn't a connection. It was a wedding invite. So I've been to Vietnam, but no, I think it was pretty much new to all of us when we went there.
Did you pick up any Vietnamese while you were there?
I can say hello, which is xin chào, and gamon, which is thank you. You know, it wasn't. The language is so. It's so different and it's so difficult, and their names alone, everyone's names, they were quite hard to pronounce. So.
Which is an interesting thing to say about Christina, about that. One of the first people I met who introduced me to Christina said what's incredible about her is that she could have 60 kids in the centre and she could name every single one of them. She has an amazing memory, but she also can remember their names, their Vietnamese names, every single one of them. So she's pretty extraordinary because we certainly couldn't. And any Vietnamese I learned was because of our kids.
Well, I was just going to say that. We brought our kids to Vietnam while we were filming, and they were 4 and 8 at the time. 8. And the 4-year-old became fluent at Vietnamese, really. No, he had lots of little phrases. He had lots of little phrases that we didn't have, like hang gap lai.
Hang gap lai.
What does that mean? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Mama Tina still talks to God. What do they talk about these days?
That's a great question. I think she talks, and really that's a question you'll have to ask Christina when you meet her, but I think she talks to God about anything really that's on her mind and anything that she needs help with, and she's permanently struggling to solve some major problem in terms of helping people across the world. So I think that's what she talks to God about.
I think she also helps a lot of other people. I mean, my dad was very ill this year, and she lights candles every day, and she prays for other people. And I think she has a touch of the miraculous about her too.
She does. She does. I got a little sick at the very beginning of this process, and it was kind of extraordinary. A very strange thing happened to me. My face was paralyzed, half of my face got paralyzed, a thing called Bell's palsy. And Christina, and it was the first day of our pre-production, and it was very frightening. You know, we wake up one morning and your face doesn't work, and it's extraordinary. And Christina was so incredibly kind. You know, I didn't know her that well, but she phoned me, and she phoned me again, and she said, I'm praying for you, and you're going to get better. And I did. You know, and sometimes people don't. Sometimes that can stay with you. But so I am completely convinced that woman has a direct line, and it works.
And how do you say goodbye in Vietnamese?
I don't know.
Goodbye. What do we like?
Or see you later.
Hang up lie. Hang up lie is.
Hang up lie.
Hang up lie.
Thank you.
Come on you.
Come on you.
Thank you very much. People just want to pay her back.